We are talking with Mark Farkas, C-SPAN's resident documentarian. Mark, what is some advice you would give to students who are first starting to put together their documentary?
I think any documentary, at the idea phase, you need to figure out what's the story. There has to be a story, and by the end of your documentary, you need to have told it. So it's just not presenting information. There's sort of a defined beginning, middle, and end. So that's the starting point, really.
To tell that story, how do you think students should go about doing that?
Well, there's, I think, 2 or 3 ways that for me really work and interest me when I'm watching it, especially a StudentCam documentary. One is the topic, and a story develops. 2, who's telling the story, and by that, what I mean are the clips and the visuals that use of outside material, C-SPAN material. And the third is who are the other people in the story who are going to help it along. And that could be the student making the documentary themselves. They're narrating it, or they're getting some of their friends or other experts locally to help narrate it. So those are the most effective ways, I think, of starting it out. And don't be afraid to tell that story yourself. You've got to keep in mind, are there a couple different sides to the story, and do those need to be told? But a story can be told in a number of different ways, and they should be creative about it.
How should students go about getting people to talk to them, getting interviews?
What I always do, there's a certain sort of ease that people are put at when you mention that you're doing something for C-SPAN, because they know that we're really not coming at it from a particular point of view. So whether you're approaching a congressman, a principal, a reporter, or someone like that, you put it out for you put it out there for them what you're doing the project for, and normally a mention of C-SPAN is enough to get your foot in the door, and people know, okay, if you're doing something for C-SPAN with C-SPAN in mind, you've done your research, and again, you're looking at a subject as a mirror rather than coming at it from a particular point of view. How
do you know what to ask the people once you've gotten them to sit down for an interview with you?
Well, you've done your research beforehand, so you know what you want to ask them. But the biggest thing for me is keep it simple: who, what, why, where, and how. When you ask those type of questions, people open up, and they don't have a possibility of giving you a yes or no answer. Why did you do this? What do you think about this? They're open-ended questions, and they're sort of the basic tenets of interviewing, and you really get your best information like that and your best stories out of people.
Some final advice for students who are getting ready to start putting together their documentary?
I'd say be creative. Don't. Some of the best ones that I saw last time around, people did Skype interviews. They used different internet footage. They did some things that sometimes are really funny to help explain a sort of a heavy topic. You could take it from a light angle. But again, the biggest thing for me is you got to go into it saying, what's the story? What do I want to accomplish at the beginning of this process, and did I accomplish it at the end? If you've got a story and a good way to tell it, it'll be a successful program.